And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Before this year is over, we're going to have 20% plus growth in the third and fourth quarter.
You got to right at the very end. We'll have 20% growth in the fourth
plus
quarter.
Growth in the third and fourth quarters. You can score that. And we're going to have a big bang year next year.
God, what a cheerleader. And Varney sucks it all up. It's unbelievable. Now, I'd call Larry Kudlow a liar. Okay? Nice guy, but he has a penchant for lying. But I'm not the only one.
I don't pay any attention to what Kudlow says. No serious economist, by the way, Kudlow isn't an economist, and there's a reason this administration can't hire a real economist is because they only hire liars for hire. So, you get people who will say whatever the administration wants, but you can't get credible people. So I don't pay any attention to what Kudlow says.
Are you calling Larry Kudlow a liar?
Yeah, of course. He'll say anything that will help this administration.
We could grow this economy at 4 or 5%. I still think by the second half of this year, we can get back to a 3% growth zone.
Unbelievable. The guy's right. You know what makes me sick about the fake Business News Network? And I was thinking over the weekend. No one is picking up, and I talked about this last week, and I'm still amazed a week later. The major story is Buffett dumping the bank stocks. You know how major that is? What he is seeing is what I'm seeing. The shadow banking is crumbling once again. Now, what does that mean? Well, you and I, we bank differently. Okay? Now, when we bank, we go to a regular, we put you and I deposit money, we borrow money in a regulated banking system. Now, we get loans through a bank, credit cards, we deposit money, but we're guaranteed by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation that if the bank bellies up, goes under, we get $250,000 from the government. Now, that's banking. But banks have banks. Banks need banks. Now, the difference, banks in, let's say, hedge funds and brokerage houses and very large corporations, they operate in a different kind of banking system, unlike us. Their banking system is unregulated. You and I wouldn't think of putting our money in a bank that was unregulated, but they do. And that's how the 2008 crash occurred. And we're right back there again, but the fake Business News Network never wants to talk about it. So what they do is essentially deposit and borrow money using what is called repurchase agreements. Now, let's not make this complicated. It's very simple, a repurchase agreement. They will sell their loans. The banks close at night. They need capital. So they'll sell their loans to each other with the idea, I'll sell my loan to you or my agreement to you or whatever I'm going to sell to you. And the next morning, you're going to agree to repurchase what I sold you the night before, and I'll pay you a fee. Or I will reverse the sale. That's all repurchase agreement means. You're going to reverse the sale, and then you give me some money for giving you that service. Or I'm going to repurchase what I sold to you in the evening back in the morning, and I'm going to pay you a fee. It's just a way of keeping funding going for banks. It's referred to as shadow banking because there's no regulations. Now, we're being told how this economy is going to be booming. Now that we got this vaccine, today the market's up nearly 300 points based on, this vaccine. I told you this would happen. I told you that they're going to have more announcements about vaccines between now and November 3rd. It'll be incredible. So in the meantime, make sure you, especially my gang members, keep with our color-coded charts, especially the spiders. God, the spiders were up, on an annual basis already? We're up about, 24%. 24%. So don't get all your spiders. They're going to rig this market. Remember, we don't need earnings anymore. We don't need profits. A company no longer needs profits to get to earnings, which pushes up the stock price. Remember, they now have discovered a way since 2008, 2009 to push stock prices up without having profits that pushes up earnings and pushes up stock price. They can just not have to worry about profits. So the stock market will just keep going up. It's called financial engineering. But when I hear Larry Kudlow and all these people telling us how we're going to have this fantastic second half of the year, nobody's talking about what's going on. Shadow banking. Does anybody remember 2018 to 2019? We were going to crash anyways because we're right back to where we were in 2008. Remember, it was the shadow banking system in 2008 that caused the crash. Because remember what banks did? They're selling back and forth to each other. There are different loans, subprime loans, all different kinds of garbage. And at the end of the day, they froze up. They couldn't pay each other back, and the market crashed. Well, we're right back to where we were in 2008 and 2018. Why didn't they fix it? Remember, we were promised that the bank, remember, they had a committee. The committee came out and said the reason the stock market crashed because of the shadow banking. We got to stop shadow banking. And who at the time was ahead of all this? Frank and Dodd, those two crooks. One was on a House, one was on a Senate Banking Committee. And they made sure everything else was fixed except that, the shadow banking. Why? Because it's very, very, very profitable for the Federal Reserve. Because remember, they come in, like in 2018, they come in with billions of dollars because the banks froze up, just like they did in 2018. We're ready to crash. Never mind this pandemic. We were going to crash before that. They came in and saved it, saved the banking system, the shadow banking system, by printing money, coming in and honoring everybody's contracts. So we have a real problem here, but nobody wants to talk about it. So let them keep pushing the stock market up. And we're still up. Our gold, we're up 31% on a yearly basis. Our Microsoft, we're up 39%. Our Apple up 78%. Netflix, we're up 45% on an annual basis. But we're going to stay with these stocks, even though I know the market's going to crash. I know for sure, for certain, that the 50% run we had from March to where we are today, they're going to give all that back, no question. None of that gain has anything to do with earnings or profits. So the biggest problem we have right now is the banking system. And nobody wants to tell you about it. There's no guarantee. The shadow banking, remember, hedge funds, brokerage houses, large corporations, they use the shadow banking system to get money, to get finance. And as I said, in 2018, they froze up just like they did in 2008. And we're right there again. And the reason why they want to fix it, because the Federal Reserve, who owns Congress, who dictates to Congress, making too much money, bailing these banks out. But at some point, they're not going to bail them out, and we're going to go back into the deepest crash we ever had. And that's when you want to make sure you know how to sell short a stock. Be right back after this break here on Phil's Gang. Join my gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up. It never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up. It never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
To make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang free for 10 days. Get your 10-day membership, and you get free the color-coded chart that identifies for us when to buy, when to sell, when to add to your position, when to take off your position, but better yet, when to run like hell to get out. 85% of you lose money because you never know when to get out. Now, we have a fantastic rally going right now. It's going to lead to a fantastic crash. But right now, until November 3rd, they're going to do everything they can to keep this market rallying. One of the biggest things will be every now and then they'll come in like they did over the weekend that they're going to have a vaccine. Now, I told you this was going to happen. This is the same thing they did after if you look back, September crash 2019, we went down 30%. Then we rallied off the bottom big time, all because every day we were told they're ready to sign the agreement with China. Every day, we're ready to sign the agreement with China. It was always good for 300, 400, 500 points every day. Same thing happened here off the March lows. I mean, that, hey, we're coming to an end. The pandemic's coming to an end. Everything's great, right? And we're going to have this great economic growth. You're not going to have any economic growth. The market is going up for one reason only. The economy's not going up. The economy's terrible. And remember, when they tell us after this pandemic, we're going to go back to a fantastic economy, what the hell are they talking about? Right before the pandemic, we were ready to collapse. The Federal Reserve had to come in and bail out the banks, or the shadow banks, we'll call them. At night, they couldn't loan to each other. They're frozen, just like in 2008. Nobody wanted to loan to each other. The economy's in horrible shape. Before the pandemic, remember, our economic GDP growth every quarter was minus. Our earnings were minus. And remember, we never hit a 3% GDP growth. Even since Obama, we haven't had a 3% economic growth annually. But they're telling us we're going to have this huge 5-6% economic growth coming out of this pandemic. It's like everyone is saying, before the pandemic, we had this fantastic economy. Please think back. We didn't. The economy, meaning earnings and economic growth, combined them, were going down an average of 40%, while the stock market was going up. Well, how did the stock market go up if the economy was going down? Because it's disengaged. It's decoupled. As long as they can keep printing money, and keep doing quantitative easing, keep buying their own shares, as long as they can create stories. What a great story this pandemic is. They'll keep this pandemic going forever. They could keep this they could keep the stock going up for 10 more years. We're almost have a vaccine. We almost have. Can you imagine? They can move this stock market up to 60,000 on the Dow. As long as everybody thinks, oh boy, the market's going to keep going up. This is called climbing the wall of worry. They know one thing. Everybody knows one thing. The Federal Reserve will do nothing to stop stock buybacks. They'll do nothing to get rid of the shadow banking, which took this market down in 2008. Everything is to service the stock market, to send stocks up so without having to have profits. So what are you waiting for? I mean, when I sit here and say, I just look at our stocks. I know this market's going to crash. But on a yearly basis right now, what does yearly basis mean? It means we'll get into a stock, and then when it starts pulling back, we'll get out of the position. And then when it gets back, when everything's green again, we'll get back in when it's green. Red, we pull out. Green, we get in. And if you look at Apple on an annual basis, we're up 78%. POS, 66%. These are our goals. They're still up. Everybody's afraid of gold, like gold's going to crash. Gold's not going to go anywhere. Gold's only going to keep going up. We have our Best Buy. We have our McDonald's. They're all up. And I am telling you right now, if you don't stop looking at Apple. We're in Apple. We're in Apple. We're up big time in Apple. We're in Microsoft. We're up 78% in Apple. We're up 40% in Microsoft. But here's where the deals are. Go to the cruise lines. I pointed out to my members today, go look at the Norwegian Cruise Line, NCLH. I gave this one last week. It's just starting to turn green. The first day it turned green. It's a $16.70 stock. What, are you nuts? Are you going to go and buy Google? Are you crazy? Why would you go? Why would you buy Google for $1,500? Why would you buy Amazon for $3,000 whatever, when you can buy this stock for $16.77? What's the difference? If I can make 30% on $16, why would I go pay $3,000 a share to make 16%? You know why people are doing it? Because they're all in the same stock. The same money's chasing the same stocks. That's called a bubble. And 85% of you are not going to get out of Microsoft, Apple. You're not going to get out of any of these stocks in time. You're going to die in these stocks. You're going to, when this market crashes, those are going to go down so fast, you'll never be able to get out. You won't be able to get out. Do you understand that most of the world's in all those stocks, 5, 6 stocks, this whole rally? Think about it. This market's up about 450% off the lows in 2008. And there's a half a dozen stocks. Crazy. But when they keep telling us, oh, this is going to be a fantastic economy, like we had a fantastic economy for the pandemic, it is not true. We didn't have we had a terrible economy. You see, and that's the other thing. They lied about what is the economy. The stock market, they kept telling us the economy. No, it isn't. It's earnings and GDP growth. And since March, went up 50%. But earnings and economic growth is going down 50%. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. And by the way, there's no spending. You know what? You need to have economic growth, that GDP growth, so you have a healthy economy. You need business investment. There's no more business investment. What CEO is going to spend money on business investment? So you got markets going up without business investment. Get in them. You just got to know when to get out. That's why you join my gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
With the PhilsGang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at PhilsGang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At PhilsGang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And PhilsGang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the PhilsGang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at PhilsGang.com. That's PhilsGang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Remember how stocks went up? Stocks would go up because a company would take their profits and they would plow it back in to their business. And they would also borrow money, combine the borrowed money with their profits, plow it into what they used to call CapEx, or business investment. They would buy new machinery, new equipment that would increase the productivity of their employees. If they were making 10 chairs an hour, they'd buy equipment so they could make, that same employee could make 40 chairs an hour. So that increases profits. And when we had the unions, they made sure that the employees would get part of that profit. And that's how we were a powerhouse. Our country was the best manufacturing country in the world, because it was the unions that made sure the workers got some of that money for producing. Then they obviously took they decided to take and move everything to Japan and China and overseas and outsource and get rid of our companies here and outsource. And then people no longer, they got rid of the unions, they're gone. So we're in a new era. We started a whole new era. The one thing about the Federal Reserve, in the top 1/100th of 1 percentile, I'm talking about the folks, our owners, who make a minimum of $27 million a year with a net worth of $111 million. They own us. They own everything. They own the Federal Reserve. And when you own the Federal Reserve, you own everything. You own Congress. Congress has to come to them, begging them for money. Now, their mandate used to be to make sure there was full employment. Everybody was working. And make sure prices would be stable so there wouldn't be all this inflation and pushing. Like now, for example, a used car, you got to pay $6,000 more for that same used car that you would have, if you bought that car 3 months ago, you would have saved $6,000. New cars aren't going anywhere, but used cars keep going up and up. Their job is to make sure that doesn't happen, but they don't care. They don't care. They care about one thing, making money. Their mandate now is to make sure the top 1 percentile, those are people who make $400,000 a year, who has a net worth of $4 million. So the Federal Reserve, the 1/100th of 1%, those folks who make $27 million a year, net worth $111 million, their new mandate is to take care of the 1 percentile who make $400,000 a year with a net worth of $4 million. Their whole life is to make sure they're making money. So the first thing they decided to do is to make sure we don't need CapEx anymore. When the market crashed and the market, they said, "Why? We don't need to have CapEx. We don't have to have business investment." Business investment was everything. Listen to this idiot. Listen to this dope. Where is she? Listen to this dope.
We expect to see tech continue to outperform coming out the other side of this. And the reason that we're still optimistic is because if you look at software CapEx and tech CapEx as a percentage of manufacturing CapEx, it has continued to grow dramatically, and productivity is beginning to improve.
Unbelievable. What a stupid statement. What a stupid statement. What's driving this whole stock market is the tech stocks, about 6, 7 of them. That's it. All the other stocks, they're not driving the market. Now, what they can do is keep pushing up their stock price without having profits, and that's why you got the biggest crash ever. But in the meantime, before that crash occurs, keep making money. Why aren't you in this market? Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. And I'm going to make sure that you get on this bandwagon. You're making money. This is the easiest money you'll ever make. Until the election now. I'm talking about the election. They're going to do every other day when the market comes down a little bit, they're going to say somebody else. Do you remember, was it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, maybe longer? They had 4 different companies come out and said they all had the vaccine. Don't hear from them anymore. Their stocks all went up big time, and then they all came down. But the market keeps going up and up. So now they're starting with the game. When we come out of now we have the virus to come out, we're going to have this booming economy. No, we're not. Because there's no more business investment. We'll never see business investment again unless the Congress stops the Federal Reserve with stock buybacks. And they got to stop shadow banking. Now, most people don't know what shadow banking is. And this is what's going to take the stock market down again. And this is very serious. And when they come back and they keep saying us how great this economy is going to be, let's see if I can find one here. I don't think we have, do we? I thought they had a cut.
The markets are telling us that things look good.
The markets tell us things look good. What's the market? The stock market is he talking about? Or is he talking about earnings and GDP growth? If he's talking about earnings and GDP growth, they look horrible. The worst we've ever seen. Companies aren't making profits. Our economy's not growing. Talking about that, Kudlow keeps on saying how much we're going to grow. What's he talking about? We're going to grow 20, 30%.
I've seen a lot of estimates that they're thinking 4 to 6% GDP. We haven't had that in many, many years, so I wouldn't expect it.
Are you kidding? We haven't had a 3% GDP growth since 1962. GDP growth. Obama was the worst president ever. Worst president ever. He was the only president that did not get a GDP growth of 3%. He was the worst president, him and Biden. Couldn't get a GDP growth 3%. So, like you say, how are they talking about getting? They're never even going to get a 3% GDP. They're all lying to us. But that's okay. Let them lie, because all you need to know is you want to get into the stocks that are bargains. You know, it used to be with a stock, you had to look at the market cap, trailing PE ratio, forward PE ratio. You had to judge management, how good management was. You had to judge return on assets, return on equity, to judge how well management was doing. Nobody cares anymore. You don't have to care. Used to when you bought a stock, you made sure what was the profit margin, what was its free cash flow. All these things you study, and you hope you get a good broker that would study this for you, especially free cash flow. Free cash flow used to be so important. Profits. That's different than earnings. Profits. Management, you as long as they had good return on assets, good return on equity, then you know their effectiveness was great. That's fine. Good return. Then they used to work on the profits. Make sure they had good profit margins, because from profit margin, you'd get to earnings. Earnings, you get to the stock going up. Boy, that was a lot of work. Whew, just thinking of it, I'm getting tired. Today, you know what you do? None of that anymore. You want the stock price to go up? Simple. You're the CEO. Borrow money from the Fed at 0 rates. Go in and buy 3,000 shares or 30,000 shares or 40,000 shares. And when your earnings come out, they're terrible. If your stock's not going to go up $3, then buy more of your shares. Maybe buy 60,000 shares. Now your earnings will cover it. Your earnings will make the stock go up. They always buy enough shares to make sure their earnings will push the stock up. If their earnings come out terrible and it won't push the stock up, they just will borrow more money free to buy shares, to drop the shares down to make sure the stock would go up. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff. And you're not in the stock market? What are you, nuts? Get in the market today. I'll tell you when to get out. Just buy the spiders, for God's sakes. What are you, nuts, sitting on the sideline? Unbelievable.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang free for 10 days. And you get my color-coded chart free for 10 days. Check it out. I mean, it works. And you should be in this market if you know how to get out. The most important thing is, when do I get out of a stock? And the technology with the color coding tells you, and you'll know that in 10 days. You'll either convince yourself I'm a total phony, or you're going to convince yourself, wow, this guy does have a chart that works. It really, I can see when it turns color, he's right. Money's coming out. And you got to understand, you should know when to rotate out of your winners. Is your broker calling you? Has he called you today to start saying, if you're in lows, you should start thinking about rotation out of lows? If you're in Home Depot, you should think of rotating out of Home Depot. Not just get out, but start taking some shares. And let's see if and start rotating into the cruise lines, like NCLH. Now, someone's going to listen to me right now. They're going to buy 1,000 shares, and they're going to lose money. And I'll see online, I listened to Phil Great, I lost money. When I tell you about a stock, unless you join the gang, don't try it, because I can't help you. I'm just giving you samples. This is going to be a fantastic stock, but it may take a month, may take 2 months, may take 1 week. I don't know. But you have to have the color-coded chart. Right now, the first day is turned green. What does that mean? It means money is coming out of the big boys like Lowe's or Home Depot, and they're rotating money out of those to go buy these beaten down stocks. They're all bargains now. That's how it works. The stock market is rotation. That's what the market is. You rotate. You don't just sit in here and say, I'm in Apple. I'm just going to stay with Apple forever. Everybody else jumps into Apple. I'm going to stay with Apple everybody jumps into Microsoft. My God, how stupid. These people will never, never make any money. If people were making so much money in these big tech stocks, why do we have a crisis when it comes to retirement? Why? We should not have a retirement crisis. I mean, if it's that easy, why do we have a retirement crisis? It's stupid. Look, all I know is one thing. when they finished with the 2008 crash, there was one reason why we crashed, the main reason. And they've covered over it all these years, and they're still covering over it now. Right now, they should be saying to you, the business news networks, be very careful. The market was going to crash without this pandemic. In 2018 to 2019, the shadow banks were in worse trouble than they were in 2008 when they crashed. The shadow banks, that's the banking system for the hedge funds, the brokerage houses, the large corporations, the banks. It's not a regulated business. It's unregulated. Unregulated. And what they do in the evening, they purchase each other's agreements or their loans. And then in the morning, they sell them back. Then what happened in 2008, one bank would not buy the other bank's loans because they didn't trust their balance sheet. I think you're broke. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to loan you. This guy said, I'm not going to loan you either. Then also we had all the banks, just like in 2018, the fall of 2018, one bank would not sell to the other bank. We were right back where we were, ready to crash in 2018. But nobody tells you that. Other than, oh, once we have the virus, we're going to go back to that wonderful economy. I don't get that either. What wonderful economy were they talking about? Were they mentally ill? Or just professional liars? I don't get it. The earnings, if you go look at the earnings before the pandemic, we were negative. Earnings 2019, minus 0.4. Earnings 2019 second quarter, minus 2.6. Third quarter, minus 2.2. Fourth quarter, minus 1.9. How could that be a fantastic economy? We're going to go back to this fantastic. We're not going back to a fantastic economy. It wasn't a fantastic economy. And how about economic growth? Are you nuts? Same thing every quarter. Every quarter. 2.0%, 2.1% for the year. A lousy 2.3, and they're going to tell us they're going to come out with 5 or 4%. Not going to happen. But you don't need to know any of that. All you need to know is, okay, which stock do I buy? And we have a group of stocks. It's called our Working Investor Group. We tell you exactly what to do with each stock. Give you an example. Today we posted our spiders on a video.
Starting with our SPY, this one here, we're going to just continue to hold here. Now, I wouldn't add to this today, even though it
and then he just goes on and tell you what. Does somebody do that for you every day? Does someone do that for you every day? No. Nobody does that for you. We do it. Are you kidding? For $39.95 a month? That's a month. $39.95? People were doing the same thing for $1,200. $2,000. Are you kidding? They're out of business now, but $39.95. We haven't changed our price in what? 20 years, 25 years. We haven't changed our price because we want you to help St. Jude once you start making money. You know what really gets me? This Federal Reserve, bunch of gangsters. They're there getting themselves rich. The 1/100th of 1 percentile. And their job is to keep rich, keep wealthy, the 1 percentile. Why couldn't they just take that money? Instead of taking that money and bailing out losers, $608 million an hour to buy debt from a company that's in trouble instead of letting the company go down? Wouldn't it be terrific if they took that $608 million and helped kids with cancer? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't the Federal Reserve, wouldn't that be perfect? Or how about helping struggling small businesses? Look at the businesses, the restaurant. That idiot in New York, the mayor, whatever the hell his name is, that jerk. He's telling people, well, we have no plan for the restaurants. What an ignorant guy. He's the mayor. We should be taking that money to Bazio, that jerk. Instead of, we should be taking the money to Congress, say no more. We're going to start taking the money. The Federal Reserve, we're shutting it down. We're going to take that money. We're going to give it to kids that have cancer. We're going to take that money and help all these small, struggling businesses right now, these restaurants who need help. For God's sakes, in my town, every restaurant's going out of business. A friend of mine has a restaurant, been there for like 40 years. Sad. I went in the other night. 2 tables. This place used to be packed. 50 tables, packed on a Saturday night. You had a line outside the building waiting. 2 tables were filled. He said, I don't know what I'm going to do. How sad. These guys are going to close. And you know what? This pandemic, it's making the very, very wealthy even wealthier. The longer they can keep this going before they get a vaccine, the more they can just put off the vaccine and keep saying we're getting a vaccine. You know how high this market's going to go? You know how high this market's going to go as long as they can keep saying the same thing they did with, you remember when they said, any day now we're going to sign the deal with China. Any day we're signing the deal with China. Remember? Now they're going to start doing that, like over the weekend, Sunday. Happened to be one day before the Republican convention. They announced, oh, we think we got this thing licked now. No. I don't care. You're not going to have it. They're going to make sure this virus doesn't happen because too many of the very, very wealthy people in the stock market, the hedge funds, all the big boys, they're making so much money because they know they can't let the stock market come down. They know the Federal Reserve will keep printing and printing and printing and make sure the stock market keeps going up to at least get Trump in office. And you're not in this market? Are you out of your mind? I know what you're saying. I'm afraid I'm not going to get out before it crashes. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll prove it to you in 10 days. I'll give you, for 10 days, become a member. You got my membership and my color-coded chart. And at the end of 10 days, if you're not convinced that this chart will tell you when to get out, when to run like hell, but better. Why run? Switch your position to where you're shorting it. Make money on the way down. It's crazy. It's just crazy what's going on. So look, take advantage of this market, okay? They're going to do anything and everything to prop the banks up and then be ready for a huge collapse and catch that on the way back down. Join my gang free right now. Join my gang. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.